So, Black Widow came out this weekend, and I actually saw it, and to be honest, I have no idea how this movie went the way it did. Like, I don't understand how. Black Widow is a character that many people, including myself, grew up watching for a long time. Got little hints about her backstory here and there, and going into this movie, I know how some of the marketing was, which had me worried, if I'm gonna be honest here. But overall, I was like, I'm still gonna give it a chance. Like, there's no way it could be like as bad as some of the media outlets are saying, right? But now, by no means was the movie bad. It just wasn't really good either. It's one of those movies like where you just grab some popcorn and try not to really think about the plot too much, because as far as the movie goes, I think it runs off of three things: action, some of the memorable characters like Black Widow and some of the references throughout the MCU, and some of the newer, funnier characters like Yelena. Yelena was honestly one of my favorite characters in that movie. But the plot itself, like the whole plot literally was like Natasha finishing what she started, because her sister came back after getting freed from the control of Dreykov, which was the dude she was supposed to kill way before she became an Avenger, so she could join S.H.I.E.L.D. And she used the daughter to try to kill him by blowing them up. And not only did Dreykov survive, but the daughter survived. And I'm looking at this like, I'm sorry. So the villain of this movie not only survived, but is completely fine. And the daughter survived, but basically got turned into a living weapon. Basically what they tried to do with Deadpool in X-Men Origins Wolverine. Really? That's the route we're going? Like, they took a villain who was literally a hired gun. A dude who they turned into a chick, which honestly I didn't mind. I don't mind that part at all. But it's the daughter of the main bad guy who somehow survived a bomb blowing up, most likely in her face. And on top of that, the dude, Dreykov, he's completely fine. But somehow the daughter is not only far more injured than he was, but had to have cybernetics implanted into her, and it gave her powers. What? And don't even get me started on Dreykov. My god, that dude was unnecessarily just put way too high on the asshole category. Like, this dude was just, for some reason, just way too much of an asshole to be believable to me. He really wasn't. Like, there's no villain in any other MCU movie who was this much of an asshole for no reason. Like, he literally had no reason to do this. He had no reason to be this much of a prick. But they made him one. It's like, okay, just some generic plan to try to conquer the world or whatever. Not the first time a villain's done that. But where's the reason? Why are you doing this? I mean, you made Taskmaster as a living weapon that used to be your daughter. What's that about? You just did it just cuz? No reason behind that? Not to exact revenge on Black Widow for trying to blow you up? You just did it just cuz? Dreykov looking at his daughter after that explosion, looking like, well, got a weapon now. Huzzah! Like, no, it just wasn't believable. Not to mention the whole pheromones being a weakness thing, or a failsafe to prevent the other widows from attacking him, which was dumb. I don't know why they ever thought that was a good idea, but I will admit, Taskmaster was pretty cool as far as fight scenes go, and the costume, but the origin, no, you literally could have made Taskmaster a hired gun. Just, Black Widow killed my daughter in an attempt to kill me. I want my revenge. How much is it gonna cost for you to take her down? Him being like, and you just had Taskmaster, still a chick, being like, I don't know, she's an Avenger now, so that does make her a pretty hard to kill target. Word gets out about her death, I might have a demigod to deal with. But then you fast forward to now, Sokovia Accords, Black Widow's on the loose, she can't go to the Avengers for help. Perfect time to bring in Taskmaster. Be like, okay, the time is now. Time for revenge. Get on it. Then Taskmaster be like, bet. But no. Taskmaster is literally mind controlled and never says anything except for right at the end of the movie. Just a mindless drone. And Dreykov being a over the top douchebag. And Red Guardian was likable to some extent, but at the same time, he sounded way too much like a dumbass. Like, even I was getting annoyed for a minute there. Like, dude, really? Like, are you still talking? But like I said, a little bit throughout the movie, he kind of grew on me. Had some moments where it's like, he's funny. Does a little song to try to cheer up Yelena when she was upset, which I thought was pretty cute too. But he's like 100 times more badass in the beginning of the movie than he was throughout the rest of the movie. It's like, what? Like, what happened to the other guy? And it's like, I don't understand why, for whatever reason, that there was no motivation for the villains, like, at all. This dude had literally hired dudes as just random henchmen to just roam about the Red Room while the other widows were training and some were on missions. And for some reason, brainwashing can be undone by red smoke or red gas. Like, okay, if brainwashing was so easy to undo, why was it so hard for Winter Soldier to break out of his brainwashing? Like, that took 2 movies and a TV show to break. That took 2 movies and a TV show to explain how that happened. But for Black Widow and every other widow, it's, red gas can just erase the brainwashing. How does Winter Soldier have a better story on how he managed to undo his brainwashing than every other widow in this movie? Like, if there was a way to get rid of brainwashing that easily, you could literally just never have to deal with brainwashed people again throughout the MCU. Like, just have that on standby. Just be like, oh, okay. So, we got a brainwashed supervillain? No problem. I got you. Just gonna go grab this grab this little container with this gas. Just use that. Guarantee it'll fix them, no problem. Even Yelena was like saying, oh, hey, why don't we go take these files and why don't you call one of your super scientist buddies like Tony Stark? So, as far as that goes, it's like there are many plot holes in this movie, but it's a Marvel movie. You got your right amount of explosions, action, some comedy here and there. And if you really do not think about the plot at all, you're pretty much fine. You'll pretty much be set for a pretty decent time. But I would say out of all the Marvel movies I've seen, Taskmaster's backstory and Dreykov as a villain, just bottom 5 out of every Marvel villain. Just bottom 5. Like, oh my god. Dreykov was probably one of the worst villains I've ever seen in a movie in life. Like, and not even because of how much of an asshole he was, just because of like how they made him as a villain. Just the most incompetent dude ever. Not to mention the whole monologuing. Like, that's generic, like super generic, but he couldn't even defend himself. Literally just got lucky because, oh hey, my pheromones will stop you from attacking me. I don't know who came up with the whole pheromone thing, but oh my god, was that terrible. Pheromones are gonna stop one of the best spies in the world and an Avenger. Really? And they even made jokes about that, like, I could just hold my breath. Like, oh no, that wouldn't work. I feel like that would. Like, just don't breathe for that split second and just boom, right in the skull. But I would say, if you're looking for like a good Black Widow origin flashback story type thing, I would say just don't think about the plot too much. Just be like, okay, so Black Widow's gotta handle this, gotta take down this guy, done. Oh, and RoboCop with a better name just coming after you. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, that's what it felt like watching Taskmaster do anything besides fight. It's just basically RoboCop, but who never says a thing. Just don't eliminate, target, must destroy. That's about as much of a personality as Taskmaster has in this movie. Just target acquired, must destroy. And I kind of felt bad because that could have been perfect material for quotes, quips, little one-liners between Black Widow and Taskmaster. That could have been a whole thing. Hell, you literally could have made, oh, the plan to kill Dreykov worked, but it permanently damaged the daughter to some extent. So, with some cybernetics and a couple other things here and there, over time growing up, she ended up becoming Taskmaster and seeking revenge by taking over as the new leader of the Red Room. I didn't even mean to, and I already gave you a better backstory for Taskmaster. So, all in all, moral of the story, or moral of the review I should say, Black Widow, if you don't think about the plot too much, it is still a pretty decent movie. Still plenty of action, explosions, still something to just turn your mind off and just have a little fun with. Yelena, by far, best character in the movie. Don't at me. Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson, still really good at the role. I still approve of her as Black Widow throughout the MCU. She really does a good job as far as that goes. And Red Guardian, still on the fence with him, but he's still pretty okay as far as I'm concerned. And the villains, no. Just no. Now, I will admit, like I said before, the costume for Taskmaster and the fight scenes for Taskmaster were really good. But no, that's like, I really hope in some way, shape, or form they do a multiversal Taskmaster, or like just say, oh well, since Dreykov's daughter was freed, she's not Taskmaster anymore, but now this dude or other chick or whoever is going to be the new Taskmaster. Like, I really hope they do that, because at the very least it's something to work with. and maybe we can get one of those scenes where it's like, okay, so now that this Taskmaster is done, now we have another Taskmaster, and maybe this Taskmaster can go fight other heroes or other villains, or maybe they could fight Shang-Chi someday, or Spider-Man someday, or Hawkeye someday. I will admit though, a fight between Taskmaster and Shang-Chi would be pretty cool, not gonna lie. But yeah, that's kind of been my little review slash I wouldn't say rant, but more like some little nitpicks I would have, I guess, from the plot itself. But hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see y'all next time. Oh, and before I forget, the PC video is definitely coming soon. I just finished building it, and still gonna probably make a couple more modifications beforehand. But all in all, it's coming together really well. So I'll see y'all next time. Take care.